All right, lean in for a second. This isn't a greeting, it's a warning. You feel it, don't you? That pressure in your chest, that quiet panic behind your eyes, that moment where the world glitches just long enough for you to realize something is wrong. Because tonight isn't about motivation, it's about exposure. Absolute meltdown. Reality didn't bend, it collapsed. And the terrifying part, you weren't supposed to see this, but you did. And once you see it, there is no unseeing it. They built this world like a stage set. Cheap props, painted smiles, scripted paths. They told you, work hard, behave, stay small, trust the system, and you listened, because good people always do. But here's the punchline they never planned for. The system only works when you don't look too closely. The moment you started asking why, the moment you noticed patterns instead of excuses, the moment you felt that quiet voice whisper, "This doesn't add up," that's when the cracks appeared. And now, the whole thing is coming down. Let me tell you the truth they're terrified of. You were never weak. You were contained. You were never lost. You were redirected. You were never failing. You were surrounded by rules designed to keep you predictable. They don't fear your anger. They don't fear your sadness. They fear your clarity, because clarity turns compliant people into dangerous thinkers. You see, the real meltdown isn't happening out there. It's happening inside you. That moment when the lies stop comforting you. That moment when hope stops coming from promises and starts coming from you. That moment when you realize, if this whole thing is fake, then so are the limits they put on me. And that realization, that's chaos. Beautiful, uncontrollable, liberating chaos. They taught you to fear collapse. But no one told you what collapses are actually for. A meltdown isn't the end. It's the moment pressure exposes truth. Buildings fall when their foundations are rotten. Empires fall when their stories stop working. Illusions fall when someone like you refuses to play along. And let me be very clear about something. If reality is falling apart around you, it's because you've outgrown the version of it that was built to cage you. You think this hurts by accident? No. This pain is precision engineered. Because awakening doesn't feel like light. It feels like betrayal. You feel angry because you trusted. You feel confused because you obeyed. You feel exhausted because you carried rules that were never meant to serve you. But here's the twist, the part that makes them panic. You survived long enough to wake up. Most people don't. You know why they say, don't look too deep? Because depth creates independence, and independence breaks control. Once you see how narratives are manufactured, once you notice how fear is recycled, once you understand how distraction replaces truth, you stop reacting, you start choosing. And a person who chooses consciously, that person cannot be herded. This is the moment they didn't plan for. The moment where instead of begging the world to make sense, you accept that it was never meant to, and decide to build your own meaning anyway. They wanted you desperate. They wanted you compliant. They wanted you distracted by noise, drama, trends, and approval. What they got instead was someone who can see through the noise, someone who knows that chaos is just unclaimed power. Let me tell you something dark and freeing. You don't need permission to become who you are. You don't need validation to walk away from broken systems. You don't need applause to evolve. You only need the courage to say, if this reality is fake, I refuse to be fake with it. That decision alone rewrites everything. So yes, reality is melting down. The masks are slipping. The scripts are failing. The walls are thinner than they look. And you weren't supposed to see this, because once you do, You stop waiting for rescue. You stop asking for approval. You become unpredictable. And that's the real joke. Not that the world is falling apart, but that it was always this fragile. Not that you're waking up, but that they thought you never would. So stand there in the ruins. Feel the fear, feel the clarity, feel the power returning to your hands. And now that you're awake, the world starts behaving strangely, doesn't it? People repeat themselves like broken recordings. Arguments feel hollow, rules feel artificial, success stories sound scripted. That's because once the illusion cracks, you start seeing the machinery behind the curtain. You notice how outrage is scheduled, how fear is marketed, how distraction is rewarded more than truth. You notice how they don't need chains anymore. Because most people guard their own cages, but not you, not anymore. Here's the part nobody warns you about. Awakening is lonely. When reality falls apart, you don't get applause. You get silence, side eyes, whispers that say, "You're changing." Of course you are. You can't unlearn manipulation once you see it. You can't pretend comfort matters more than truth once you taste clarity. You can't shrink back into the lie just to keep the peace. That version of you is gone, and they feel it. They'll tell you to calm down, to be realistic, to stop questioning things that work. But work for who? Systems don't care about you. They care about continuity, about efficiency, about obedience disguised as normal life. The moment you stop feeding them your energy, your silence, your belief, they start malfunctioning. That's why everything feels like it's breaking at once. Because it is. Let me say this slowly, so it sinks in. You are not losing your mind. You are losing your conditioning. That dizziness you feel, that's perspective shifting, that anger, that stolen time demanding justice, that fear, that's the last defense of a lie fighting to survive. You are trained to doubt yourself the moment you see too much, to self-police, to self-silence. But now the voice in your head is changing tone. It's no longer asking, "Am I allowed?" It's asking, "Why should I comply?" And that question is revolutionary. They wanted you chasing crumbs of approval, likes, titles, validation, anything that keeps you busy enough not to notice the theft of your potential. But you're starting to understand something dangerous. Your attention is your power. Your belief is the currency. Your obedience is optional. Once you reclaim those three things, the whole structure trembles. That's the meltdown you're witnessing. You don't need to burn the world down. The world is already doing that to itself. All you have to do is refuse to lie to yourself or anyone else. Refuse to pretend confusion is clarity. Refuse to call survival success. Refuse to let fear masquerade as wisdom. You don't need to be louder than everyone. You just need to be unmovable. So if tonight feels heavy, good. Heavy things are real. If your chest feels tight, good. That's truth pressing against old walls. If your sleep feels restless, good. That's your mind refusing to go back to sleep. This isn't a breakdown. It's a breakthrough that doesn't ask for permission. Stand in the chaos. Smile at the collapse. Let the masks fall without trying to save them. Because while they're scrambling to fix a broken illusion, you're learning how to walk without it. And once you do, nothing they built to control you will ever work again.